I was just graduating from high school and going into my freshman year at BYU when he was called to be a bishop. And, he's such an amazing businessman, and he didn't know how he was going to be the CEO and have time to be CEO and bishop. But he told me over the years that what he learned the most about being bishop was compassion and having that human touch. And that was a good lesson for him because, he was used to sort of being the general and in command and not telling people what to do because we have a very collaborative culture here. But, he was the decision maker and the leader. And when you're bishop, as you know, because you've been a bishop and in the stake presidency and a stake president, you have to have that human touch and you have to be able to listen and to be compassionate. And when he is interviewed, and I've talked to him and done many interviews with him, he says the number one leadership quality that's the most important to him is to be a good listener, and that the four most important words are, what do you think? And he has learned that over the years, both at work and at church. And he actually learned that lesson from President Eisenhower. I don't know if you want me to tell that story.
Yeah,
he has
absolutely.
a great
Sounds
story
interesting.
that he put in his most recent book called the Without Reservations. So he was an ensign in the Navy after he graduated from the University of Utah and was on an aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean during the Korean War. And when he was engaged to my mother, at Christmas time, they went down to a family farm that my grandfather had bought in the 50s in Virginia. And my grandfather had become friends with President Eisenhower and invited him to come down to the farm to go hunt quail and to hunt birds. And they had stocked the farm. We don't have indigenous quail back here. And they had bought a bunch of quail and apparently stocked the farm so they could go hunting, bird hunting. And it was in December, and it was a freezing cold day with icy sleet coming down, and it was just miserable. And they were ready. They were getting their coats on and getting ready to go out to hunt these birds. And President Eisenhower turned to my dad, a lowly ensign in the Navy, and said, Bill, what do you think? Do you think we should go outside and go hunting, or do you think we should stay in here by the warm fire? Now, maybe that was a leading question, but my dad said, I think we should stay in here by the fire, and they did. But my dad said that single incident helped him understand how important those four words were. And here was the President of the United States asking this young man what his opinion was on something. And ever since then, that's what he does with all of his leadership meetings.